Hello, this is Vicky Schettini, and welcome back to the show. She is amazing. I just spent about maybe 40 minutes talking to her. I am speaking to the amazing Galit Ventura-Rozen. How are you doing today?
Hi, Vicky. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
So tell us a little bit about what you do, and you guys are going to be so excited because it's everything I say. She's the living proof right here. So tell us about what you are doing, everything you have going on. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure, I'll give you the short version because I've been working for myself for 25 years, so there's a 25-year story. But my short version is that I've owned and operated a commercial real estate company in Las Vegas for 25 years. Right out of college, even before I graduated college, I got my real estate
Wow.
license. And I tried houses for like a few minutes. Wasn't crazy about it because I'm really a business-minded person, so I didn't want to sell homes in a sense, and I ended up getting into commercial real estate, which has been really, really successful for me. And my company has agents, so I'm a broker as well as I work with large investors. And then a few years ago, I wanted to start working with more women because in commercial real estate, as of now, mostly I work with men investors as well as men agents. It's just the nature of commercial real estate in Las Vegas. It's largely a male-dominated field, which is fine. And I decided it was time to show women how to believe in themselves, how to get out of their own way to be successful, how to recognize a lot of their success was mindset. And I decided it's time for me to show women that they could build their own dreams instead of just somebody else's, as well as how to get on stage, use their voice to attract the ideal client. So that's pretty much what I've been doing the last few years on top of my commercial real estate. And I just had my first book published, The Successful Woman's Mindset, in December.
Congratulations. How exciting.
Yeah.
And those are like really, really strong topics, that things that you're doing, the whole commercial, but teaching other women how they can be successful. I am a huge believer of that. And honestly, no offense to the men out there, but I really think women, we're better in real estate because we are really good problem solvers and we can think outside the box a lot more. So that is amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your book. I'm really, really excited to hear about it.
Absolutely. So by career choice, I'm not really a writer. What happens to a lot of us when we get into this business, as you know, Vicky, is we start serving and we start helping people and empowering them and motivating them, and then they are interested in learning how we do it. So I felt called to write this book, and it kind of started because I did a keynote on the successful woman's mindset at the National Association of Women Business Owners, and it was so well received that I realized I needed to write the book. So the book really is a journey. The book is a journey of how to believe in yourself. It's a journey about how to get out of your own way. So just for fun, I'll share a few of the chapter titles. It really gives you an indication. There's 21 chapters. So one of the chapters is Oprah status is achievable. Because so many
Oh,
people look at Oprah as something they can never touch, right? And the
yes.
start of that chapter, every chapter starts with the word she, because it's written for women, even though a lot of men have bought it. So it says, so the chapter title is She Knows Oprah Status is Achievable. Another chapter is She Believes She Can. She is open to the opportunities. Another chapter is she uses past successes to overcome future obstacles. And there's 21 chapters. I'm not going to go through them all, but it really is a step-by-step guide. So there's an activity in every chapter. You get a free downloadable book that you can walk through. And some of the people that read it, they choose the chapter that most resonates with them, and they just read that chapter. You don't have to read the one before to be able to get some kind of benefit from reading it and knowing what to do. So if you're struggling with challenges, there's a chapter about knowing that obstacles are part of the path and how to overcome them. If you're struggling with believing in yourself, read the chapter on how to believe in yourself. If you want to be like Oprah, read the chapter about how to achieve what Oprah does. So it's just kind of fun. And then I incorporate some stories in there about my own successes and failures, because I've had plenty of failures. That's been my path to success, I like to call it. Just sharing a little bit about my story and how you can achieve what you want with your own success.
Those are some huge, huge chapters, what you're saying, because to me, and I've only gone to know a little bit about you, and for some reason my headset's going off. Hold on one second. Of course. So this is just life happening. You know, it's
Yes.
nothing bad. It's just life happening, and it happens to all of us. So I love it. She believes she can. And the whole Oprah. I mean, I want to read this book because I believe that whatever you set your mind to do, you can do it. One of the things I've said before in the past, you know, I've had my downs and a lot of downs, believe it, believe me. But I always knew that I was going to do something and that failure was never an option. And after my biggest down would happen 4 years ago, where I actually became homeless, after I conquer that, I really feel like I can conquer the world. The only thing I say I cannot do until they change the law is become president of the United States. That's not because I don't think I can win. It's because I just wasn't born here. So I definitely want to read your book, and you need to autograph it for me.
I
But
will, Vicky. I'll send you one after, I promise.
I love
My
this.
pleasure. Thank you.
So what are you mentoring women? I mean, I know you said you're doing speaking, but are you also mentoring? Because it's such a huge topic. When women empower themselves and believe in themselves, we can literally move mountains.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't give up.
It's so interesting to me. I actually do take on about a handful of VIP private clients a month with my businesses and my traveling for speaking and corporate training. I have a certain amount. So, yes, I do work with clients privately that are very, very serious about really succeeding in what they want. And I think one of my favorite things about my book, Vicky, is there's a whole chapter about success, because everybody has their own opinion or their own definition. And I don't tell people what success means. What I do is I take them through an exercise that asks them, what does success mean to you? So for example, one of the activities in the book says, who is someone you see as successful? Because we all have that one person, right?
Exactly.
Then you ask yourself, why? Why do I think that person is successful? You write it down. Then the activity says, what characteristics do they have? Because characteristics is a big part of success. Sometimes I call my book, it has 21 characteristics of the successful woman. And then once you do that, you say to yourself, if, I like to use when, but if I choose to be successful like this person that I see as successful, would I be happy? Because a lot of times we see success, we think we want it, and we don't really understand what it means to us. So if you say to yourself, yes, I would be happy if I have that, now you know, okay, wait, I've got to figure out how to be successful like this person. And I want anyone that's listening or watching to make sure that they are making their own path. I'm a big believer in not reinventing the wheel. My dad taught me that at a very young age. He said, if it's already been reinvented, make it your
Mhm.
own. But I want you to tailor your success to you. What is it that you love that this person's doing? What is it about what they're succeeding in that you would be so happy to maybe do something similar to, and then make it your own? Because one thing we know, Vicky, is if you and I did the same exact thing, we wouldn't be in competition with each other because we each attract different types of people. And I know
Exactly.
you and I were talking before about how, oh, I want to refer you to this person, you should refer to that. And I love referring people to people because I want them to be just as successful as I am or more. And there's a mentality out there that believes we're supposed to be in competition with each other, when we don't realize that the more we work together and we help each other, the more successful we come too. So if you're not in a circle that's supporting you in that way, find one that will, because there's enough people out there that will.
Oh my God, I just love you.
Oh,
I love your mind.
thanks.
I mean, were you always like this? I mean, you're just
Uh,
incredible.
that's a good
That's
question.
amazing.
I think, like everybody else, I've gone through my own journey and I've had to go through my own struggles. And that I believe in some shape or form, I've probably always had a positive mindset, which I like to call a growth mindset. And I talk about that in my book. There's the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. I believe that since I was a little girl, I've always believed that if I don't know how to do something, and this is growth mindset, I can figure out how, or there's someone out there that can show me how,
Yeah.
or I can learn how. And I'm really big about education. I have a bachelor's and a master's and a bunch of certifications, but not always do you have to go to school to learn. It could be street smarts, it could be mentor smarts, it could be self-taught. But I think that a big thing for me with the successful mindset is you've got to be open to learning. It's another
Yeah.
chapter of mine. She is open to learning, because I don't believe that I will, the day I die, I still won't know everything. And when you have that growth mindset and you believe that, so I think in some shape or form, I've probably been optimistic most of my life, even through my struggles. I think my positivity has always been there, but I also had to go through my own struggles and challenges to learn, like everybody
Exactly.
else. Like everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, just the things that you're saying, one of the key things that I really, really love that you said that women, we can be our worst enemies, and we are very competitive, and we shouldn't be that way. We should empower everybody. There's enough business for everybody, but you're right. The people that I attract, we're going to attract different people. We could even be talking about the same thing, but I might have a different twist than what you have a twist on. So
Yes.
it doesn't matter, even in the areas that we're in our I may, because I was homeless at one point, I may click with a homeless person, and you might click with somebody that had the same experience. So it's
Yes.
crucial that women, we all work together and getting ahead, instead of just trying to tear people down, tear each other down. So I think I can't wait to read your book, because just a little bit that you're saying, I'm just so intrigued, including the little test that little worksheet that you say that you have on there. I never thought about that. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I had my person in mind when you're saying it. And then when
Yes.
you said, would I be happy? And I'm thinking, that's some deep thinking right there.
Yeah, and I think what I'm really focused on is taking everyone that reads it through a journey of their own. This is not a book about my stories. This is not a book about me. You're going to read it and be like, there's really little about you here except for examples that are real. So one of
Yeah.
my chapters, which this one's a really fun one, you'll love this. Even though I didn't know, because I really never saw myself as that, when I started digging deeper, I found that there were some things I was really trying to control in my life years and years ago. And then my world turned completely upside down with some things that I went through. I was married for 17 years and went through a very difficult divorce, and I have 3 kids. And I never believed in my life I would be divorced. Like, I was that girl that said divorce was not an option. Well, that was control. And so one of the chapters in my book, I talk about how I was a self-professed control freak. And that when you start letting go of control, that's really where the magic happens. And I use an example, and this will give you an idea of what I do in the book. I give an example of every trip I went on, I used to plan every single second. And now
Oh,
in the
wow.
last few years, all I do is book the hotel and the flight, and that's it. And I show up and I figure it all out when I get there. And that I have had some, I love traveling. I have had some of the best trips I've ever had because today with technology, how long does it take me to figure out, oh, wait, this is available today, or we can go here today? Every place
Yeah.
you visit has places to go. And so I share in it my own personal challenges and how I chose to overcome them in hopes that those that are reading will within themselves when they something resonates. So if somebody says, I'm a total control freak, I need to stop doing that, maybe they'll find something in there. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that I think is really important. Like you said, Vicky, when you're sharing your story with someone that's homeless, let's say you decide to go speak in front of a group of people that have been homeless or that are trying to get off the streets and motivate them, now they have something that they connect with you about.
Exactly.
And that helps. And that's why I think every woman has, every man too, but every woman has a story to share. And
Yeah.
that she should be out there sharing it because she can resonate. If that's her purpose and that's what she wants to do, she should be out there sharing it so she can impact others in a positive way.
Yeah. Definitely. And one thing that I'm catching from the book is we are all the same. We all think
Yes.
you're saying things that most of us don't want to say. You know, even when our stories and whatnot, all of us think or I like to think that most of us think the same way, and we have our own doubts or our own fears, and the whole Oprah thing. You can reach that success. If she did
Absolutely.
it, why can't you do it? So you
Absolutely.
can. It's just mindset on getting there and doing it. I cannot wait to read this.
Oh, thank
Where is your book so our listeners out there, they can read this because this is huge. This is
Oh,
huge.
thank
It's like
you.
a
It's all
movement.
over online retailers, Amazon, Apple, Kindle, Barnes and Nobles. I mean, it's Barnes and Noble. It's pretty much everywhere online. If you just Google the successful woman's mindset, you'll find it.
Beautiful.
And it's available in Kindle too, which a lot of people really like.
Perfect. And what if somebody wants to hear you speak? Like where would they be able if they want to go see you or get a hold of you, how can they know what your schedule is?
Absolutely. So everything is on my website, GalitVenturaRozen.com. I have all of my speaking engagements on there, as well as they can connect with me through social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram under my full name as well. I'm really easy to find because I want to make sure that I impact and empower as many people. I find that the biggest reason that people do not succeed their goals, Vicky, is because they just don't believe in themselves. So I've made it a goal in my life to show as many people as possible how to believe in themselves. And I really cover that in the book because I get asked so much, well, how do I believe in myself? Well, how do I believe in myself? And it's so important to recognize that, yes, there's a journey there, there's a structure, but it's possible. You just have to know that you've got to work on it every single day a little bit because you're going to be willing to believe in all the people around you that you love all day long, but not believe in yourself. And I think it's such an important component of being happy because if you don't believe in yourself first and foremost, how do you expect anybody else to? To me, I don't think that's fair of you.
Yeah.
So anybody that's watching just or listening, just know there is a way to believe in yourself and just start with the awareness of saying, maybe I don't and I should, because that in itself is going to be the start.
That's huge. That is really, really, really big and meaningful. If you didn't understand, I mean, go back and play it backwards because it's your mindset and you have to have that in that belief. But like she said, if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect others to?
Yes.
And it shows in your actions, it shows in the way you carry yourself. It that's how powerful our minds can be. So this is great. I am so excited that you were able to come on because I'm glad that I'm meeting you and able to talk to you. I can't wait for sure to read your book and see what we could possibly do in the future because everything you're saying, I just completely love. And I think there's an opportunity for all of us to do something together. And, let's do a movement or something. I'm all for it. Let's get it
Yes,
done.
absolutely, Vicky. I appreciate you and I appreciate all you're doing to put out there a lot of positivity and empowerment because it's so important to have these movements so that way people out there that are struggling or having challenges or just don't believe in themselves can realize that they're not alone, and that sometimes when people look at someone like you and I, they see, oh, they've got it all together, they have this perfect life. They don't see what it took to get there
Yeah.
and that it is possible. And so that's why it's so important to be vulnerable and share these stories of vulnerability. If you're out there listening, share your stories of vulnerability because it helps others grow and it also helps us grow as well. So it helps me grow when I share it as well.
And I don't know, I'm glad you said that because that does happen. And me in the past, I would see these successful women and my mind wasn't in the right place until I switched it and I just was not going to take no for an answer. So me personally, I changed, but you think they've had it together their whole lives, think they had a perfect life, and it's not the case. One of my students at one point said to me, she wanted to get mentored by a woman because she didn't know if oh, I didn't know. I did a lot of training through books and mindset, but I didn't know if I got a man, if they were going to like me, what they would think of me. And these are all feelings that we've all had at one point or another until you just kind of take charge of your mind. And it doesn't matter. It is I hate to say it, but in a lot of areas, real estate is a man's world. I moved to Jackson in the Mississippi, and it is the good old boys club here, but I don't let that stop me.
There's no reason to.
Yeah.
If anything, it should push people, it should drive them. One of my chapters is called She Turns Fear into Determination.
Oh,
And
I love that. I
there's
wonder. Oh, she just gave me chills on that
there's
one.
such
Oh,
and again, I only share what I have experienced, what I have conquered. And there's this fine line between fear and determination. So I have decided in my life, and hear me how confident that word is, make a decision. I have decided that I'm not going to allow fear to conquer and control my life. When you make the decision to not allow fear to control your life, and you recognize that change only happens in the uncomfortable, and you better get used to the uncomfortable, the world is your playground. I see the world as my playground. And I want anybody that's watching or listening to know, if you read my story or when you read my story, I am not someone that was born into privilege. I am not someone that was born into this world. My parents were immigrants. I'm first generation American, first one in my family to go to college. I
wow.
set my own path. I do not allow, listen to my word, allow, like Vicky said, this, if it's male dominated, and there's nothing wrong with men, I love men, we're just using that as an example. If there's a male dominated industry, it's time for a woman to get in there and make her own path,
There we go. I love it. Oh my God, I'm so
right?
excited. I love
Stop
it.
allowing what is the norm to be yours. I don't live in no box. And I want anyone that's watching to listen or listening to make their own playground and to make their own box. Don't make any boxes at all. But I play in my own playground. That's what I say. And then I invite awesome people to be in my playground. And I want you to make your own because we do live in a society where there are these norms. And I think, Vicky, I know we got to go, but my most important lesson, and my birthday's on Sunday,
Happy early birthday.
share my age because I'm very proud of it. I'm going to be 47. And I want to share with you that my biggest lesson in my journey of almost being 47 is I stopped caring what other people thought of me. And the second you do that, everything is freedom and you are free. And so for me, the biggest journey for me the last few years is I just stopped caring. Now, I don't mean that I'm rude or disrespectful. I'm a very nice very reputable person. But I stopped caring about judgment because you will be judged all day long by people that are not at your level, or that are not interested in being successful, or that are not interested in watching you succeed. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there because they are sad in their own life and they are not happy, and misery loves company. So
And
ask
they're
yourself,
fearful themselves. They don't have a
yes,
belief, so they don't
yes,
want you to succeed because they don't want to take the leap of faith. That is huge. You know, I know we have to go, but everything you're saying is just like getting in my brain. The part that you said that you stop caring what people think, and I know what you mean. It's not like you're being rude, like I don't care what you have to say, but there's so many people out there that are judgmental, and it really is because of that. They don't want you to succeed. Those are the people that you don't want in your inner circle anyway, so you really don't care. But
nope.
I realized I did the same thing, but I just realized this about a couple weeks ago. And I remember asking myself, when did I stop caring? I don't know when that happened. I didn't realize that I didn't care. So it's funny that you said that, but my business has gone through the roof because I did build my own path. And really, that's what everybody needs to be doing. I cannot wait to read this book because I love it already.
Oh, thanks, Vicky. Thank you. I appreciate you.
No, thank you. And I know we're running out of time. I wish I could talk a lot more, but I'm excited. You guys have to get the book. It's all over the internet. It is called, oh my
This,
gosh.
it's okay. The successful woman's mindset, it's because we're so lost in thought, right?
Yeah, mine is blown away now. Make sure you get it and read it. Go and watch her speak. I think everything she says is so powerful. We as women, we do think, we do, she's saying what we are all thinking. We just, a lot of times, just don't want to say it. So it's very, very powerful to believe in yourself. And yes, whatever you set your mind to, you can actually do. Just have to be committed to it. So thank you again for being on the show. I'm extremely excited, and I just can't wait for this to air because I just think it's that powerful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone that listened.
Thank you.